Hit Roula and Ryan's panic button.
Please give me the answer.
On KRBE.
Okay, the listener line number is 713-278-VENT.
8368 on your phone. You leave us messages there based on what we're talking about. You want to add to that conversation. Maybe you couldn't get through on the phones, or you're listening to us later on podcast and you want to share your 2 cents, or you just have random thoughts or things that happened to you want to share with us for our opinion. That's where this call comes in. Here we go.
Hey, Ryan and Roula. Yeah, hey, listen, I need some advice from y'all. I normally am really into brunettes. My girlfriend's a brunette. Every girl I've dated before her was a brunette. But then she got this idea, talking with some of her girlfriends, that she got talked into going blonde for summer. And I don't know how to tell her. I can't stand it. I ask her to wear my hat, everything I can, just so I don't have to look at it. I don't know if I should tell her this, or she can maybe already tell, or maybe I should just carry this with me to my grave.
Yeah.
But I need your advice.
Get over yourself.
Like, if you guys are in a solid relationship and you communicate and say, babe, that's not my favorite.
Yeah, but then she's already got it on her head. She can't just unbleach her hair and
summer's
overnight.
almost over now, so
You let it grow out.
What if she goes, I love this
cannot
blonde?
just let your blonde grow out if you have long hair like mine.
It'll take forever.
No
And
way.
the
You got to
roots?
color it again.
Ew.
And it probably wasn't cheap for her to go from brunette to blonde.
No, because you got to take many steps. But, okay, so
I'm with
what
Kevin, ignore it.
What if the roles were reversed? If he just had long, beautiful, flowing hair that she loved, and one day he decided to shave his head bald without telling
Or
her?
short, and you want to let it grow a mullet.
Holy smokes, you're a hot bald guy now.
No, but I mean, it's just...
How about a mustache? Like right now with Top Gun,
the
Maverick.
mustache.
Just grow a mustache only?
I roll.
What did you guys do?
Well, at least then you could just be like,
Shave it off.
I'm not kissing you with that. As long as you got that on, I ain't gonna kiss you.
Yeah, Miles Teller, who stars in Maverick, said that even his wife was like, when's that going to go?
When's that coming on?
But as far as her dyeing her hair, it's important that she feels good and confident about her appearance, and if that makes her feel good, it should in turn come out to you as well, that you should feel good about her.
What if it doesn't? Like, I want to make my wife happy. If there's like an outfit or there's something I'm not doing that she doesn't like, I want to know. Then I won't wear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to be proud of your mate, and you want your mate to be proud of you. So we could go in so many different directions with this. What if your mate all of a sudden is like, you know what? I think I'm going to get a laughing clown neck tattoo. That's really
That's a little
what I
bit
want.
more.
You know what I mean? And they're like, this makes me feel confident. People look at my laughing clown. It's an icebreaker. It's a conversation starts a laughing clown. Look at my clown. He's laughing.
Hey, clown.
And then you're like, what the hell?
Well,
now you're talking about taste.
Yeah, that's with you. That's with you for life.
That's bad taste.
Hey, man, you could dye your hair for life. Couldn't you just constantly dye your hair blonde?
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
A lot of
Ryan?
people do it. Archie and Chase. Looking at you, Ryan.
I was going to say former intern Caroline.
Oh, yeah, she's platinum. Like, is she platinum blonde now or just blondie?
What's her real
she
color?
was brunette.
Remember working
Very
with us?
dark
It was
brown.
very dark.
Almost black.
Yeah.
I think she's the color black, actually, when she was with us. Very dark.
Never tell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I think that this is one of those things where how much does it really bother you? He said he wants
It must
her.
be bad if he called us.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those just tuning in, a man called us and said his brunette girlfriend dyed her hair blonde and he can't stand it. To the point where he even offers his hat for her to wear since to look at it.
But don't you as a
But
couple...
she loves it.
You kind of confer with each other, and I'm saying he needs to give her permission or anything like that. But, you just chit-chat amongst yourself like, hey, tomorrow I'm going to go get my nails done. Tomorrow I'm going to go get my hair colored. Tomorrow I'm going to go do this. I got to run grocery. You just talk about it. It's like idle chit-chat.
And what they say, wait, no, don't do that.
Listen, every time I say I'm going to go get a haircut, my
Why
husband
wouldn't you
always
say
asks
no?
me,
Just say,
how much are
it
you
looks
cutting?
so pretty.
Yeah.
Tassos always asks me, how much are you going to cut? Not every time I get a haircut, but when I mention, hey, I'm going to get my haircut, he's like, are you going to cut your hair? Because he wants to be prepared to know if I'm going to chop my hair off. Like, just have
Wants
to
to know if you're going to come
Because that
home
happened
with
to me one time. I was in
middle-aged
the
mom
chair.
cut.
I was probably like
You gotta do that.
21 years old, and I was in the chair, and I just go, you know what? Just take it off. And she goes, what? I go, yeah, like how many inches is this? If you go right here, how many inches is that? She goes, like 7.
So you wanted a bob.
I go, sure, go. And so she cut my hair. And when I was walking into the family restaurant, my sister could see me from the bar table. If you go to Christie's, to the right when you walk in is the bar. And then to the left is the dining room. My family always sits in the bar. So Maria saw me coming from the window. And she runs to the hostess area to meet me in the lobby. And she goes, oh my God, what did you do? Because I
That's the
chopped
worst
all my hair
reaction.
off. But it actually was cute because my hair has a natural curl that I always
That's
try
so
and
mean,
fight.
though, because you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, at
Right?
that
It
point.
already happened.
It's
Yeah,
not
all
about
the-
like your
You
clothes.
can't, like, grow it
But
out.
it wasn't more like, what did you do?
You
It
could
was
always get
more just a
attachments.
shocker that she was like, what did you do? Like, that was a shocker. I cut 7 inches of hair off.
That's a
And
lot.
I just
That's a
showed up
lot.
to the restaurant for my shift. My
New
shorter
hair. Who
But
dis?
it would curl real nicely, Sam.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, the
yeah.
ringlets
If
really
I
came out when it
trim
was short.
mine, it always curls better.
But
'cause
what,
it's not
Sam?
all
What if you didn't say a thing to your husband, Mark? You just came home with a
Mark
pixie cut.
Would flip because there is a new hairstyle that I wanted to do with dyeing my hair, and it's like kind of trashy looking, and I was all about it. And he was
What
like,
was it?
"Absolutely not,
Like the
absolutely
Kate
not."
plus John
What was-
versus 8
it
or whatever.
was no.
Oh yeah, that's
Is that
Kate plus
considered
8?
trashy? There was my
short
friend
and
calls
the
it the
spiky.
skunk look.
Well, one time
The
you turned your
skunk.
hair green.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like
Well,
a
that
mullet for
was-
women?
No, it was it's like blonde in the front where your bangs are. Just like a big chunk of blonde right in the front. And then everything else would be brown.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
I'm
so
with Mark.
crazy.
Yeah,
Mark-
Mark said no. Mark said absolutely not and that I cannot
Or
do
us,
it.
we have to look
I
across
can't-
from you for
What?
5
Why?
hours.
It
I
wouldn't
can't
go
wait
back.
for the cut to choose her.
It's not
yeah.
going to ever choose me. It's
Harry
never going
Potter.
to choose me.
No,
Cut
it's not Harry
chooses
Potter.
you.
Kevin's
It's from Saturday
partner
Night.
doing hair. I like sent it to him and I was like, yeah. I was like, can you do this? He goes, oh,
No.
is that what you really want?
Oh dear!
And then I sent it to my best friend Jules and my best friend Brittany, and she's like, yeah, that looks like a skunk. I'm trying to find.
No, wait,
so
Sam,
nobody liked the hairstyle
let's
that
flip
I
it,
really
though.
liked.
Yeah.
Could he have a hairstyle that you would hate?
I mean, it's a
I don't
his
like
long
when,
hair, his
I
long
don't like
locks.
when my husband buzzes his hair.
Like when it's all shaved off?
Yeah,
Rula and I
buzz.
had asked
I don't
her
like-
if Mark even has hair.
right.
Because he always wears a ball
He
cap.
has such a great head of hair.
When y'all go like on,
Great.
if you go like a fancy
If
date
he ever does
night,
go
does
bald,
he
we'll never
wear
know.
the hat
Yep.
or no? Do y'all ever do like a fancy date night?
Yeah,
where
no, I normally yell at him and I'm like, can you please just style your hair?
style your hair.
He has great hair. Always.
One person on text says that I actually dyed my hair blonde on a whim, says the texter. My husband
Let's see.
also only likes brunettes. He
Oh.
dealt with it until it completely grew out 3 years later.
3 years?
Never doing it again. Loves my natural hair color now.
Oh, Sam, don't do that.
You look like the girl from X-Men.
I think it'd be really
original.
cool.
Rogue.
Oh, yeah.
Rogue, yeah.
I
She had
had that
that
in
streak.
college and I really loved it.
That one is kind of like to do your hair blonde in the front where your peripheral only sees blonde,
Yeah.
but the rest of your head is brunette. It's like it's an identity crisis with your head.
Have you ever had blonde hair?
Like your hair doesn't know what to be.
I had blonde in the front, if
your
anybody
whole-
knows, no, not my whole head. It doesn't take. My hair just, it's not a good look when I'm blonde. or
I've
light
never
haired.
had the stones to color my hair like an extreme color. I did this whole thing at the hair salon years ago when I said to color my hair today, and people were like, "You're going to color your hair." I was like, "What color you're going to color your hair?" I go, "I think I'm going to go darker." And I did the before, I did the after. It looked the same. It looked the same.
Normally I go really, really dark, like midnight black. And then it has like blue tints to it. But during the summertime, the upkeep on that is just, it's not worth it.
Because midnight black really is like a 3-week dye job. That black is not going to stay
It doesn't,
that long.
yeah, it fades really quickly.
So then
Really
basically this guy,
quickly.
I think he needs, hopefully she'll change it back.
I hope he doesn't tell her.
And then he just needs to
Messed
say,
up.
you know, I really do love your brunette hair. That's what I feel like you're at your best.
You know, he could say to kind of mind to if he doesn't want to be an adult and have a communication with his mate, he could just say this. Because, we always complain about little stuff that we don't really complain about. We're just talking, Sam.
Yeah.
She could say, "Oh my God, I get my roots done again." I'm like, yeah, does that cost you a lot? Think of all the craft beer we could buy or whatever she likes.
Back to Roula and Ryan.
Dating 2024.
Well, dating truths. Here's the thing. You're going to meet somebody on an app, let's say. You're going to text back and forth, DM, whatever you're going to do. And then you're going to meet each other. Here, is it a red flag? Is it a green flag? Is it just the truth that you need to know? Here we roll. We're going to roll like this.
I think that's
First
bad
one
if you
start
don't
with.
talk on the phone at all.
Yeah.
I think that's
Just
like
to
Like I
have
you
to
said,
really learn.
what if his voice is...
I feel like that sounded like a fart. Like,
can't
leaving, right?
Speak Fortnese. What is that?
What
This is a fart. It's this. It's like...
that? Yes. I don't
frog.
think I would talk on the phone.
No,
Are you serious?
Not
Yeah.
at all.
Before
No.
the day, I'm saying
You don't wanna know this guy's
You're never
voice.
going to hear what he sounds like.
I would go on social media and find a video of him talking.
But why not
What if,
have
he
him
is,
talk
what if
to
he's
you?
not one of the? What if he's one of those guys that's too cool for school and can't post videos on?
Yeah, a lot of guys
social?
don't do that.
He
I know,
just
Mark doesn't
barely
do
has
that.
pictures. Yeah, you would have never known Mark's voice.
I couldn't even remember. If your husband called in right now, we should put 4 people on.
I don't think I'd recognize
One of them is
his
Mark's
voice.
voice.
You wouldn't recognize his
I
voice.
don't think I've talked to him in
I
like
don't
a
even
year.
think I would recognize his voice on the phone.
He doesn't talk at all.
We don't talk on the phone.
Just lay there still. It's time for another baby.
Just look at me.
Okay, so here's one, and this is what I call the first one out of the box is going to be the red flag one of
Yeah.
this dating truth. When a guy repeatedly refers to his exes as, quote, crazy, psycho, or, pardon my French, kids, sluts, he will use those same words against you one day. Also, you know how I look at that?
Ooh.
Every single one of your exes is crazy or a psycho. You're the one that drew them to you. What's wrong with you? So now, I'm crazy or a psycho? No, I'm bailing out.
You have to look at
That's
the
the
common
Halle Berry
denominator.
thing.
You
What
gotta
is the Halle Berry thing that's so offensive? What?
That-
You guys offend me when you talk about her.
It's like that. She's with all these guys, and for some reason, we're supposed to blame all these 6 guys she married. After a while, you got to go.
You have to look at the
What
common
man has been
denominator.
married a lot that he doesn't get blamed, Sam?
You blame them too.
You should.
You blame
But
anybody
But you call it the Halle Berry effect. You don't call it the dude that
Well,
has
it's 'cause
lots of
she's-
women effect.
because nobody knows that dude. Everyone knows Halle Berry.
There's that dude.
And why would you want to divorce her?
It must be really
Seems
bad.
awesome.
Moving on.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, move on.
You don't
Here's the
agree with that?
dating
What do you
truth.
think?
I
If
don't-
you've been with someone, Sam, and
There's
then dumped them, and
There's
then
a whole list. We
6
can
times?
we can come back
Yeah.
to that because
6 times, that's a lot.
I feel like I need more info.
look up her history.
Dating truths. No woman. Oh, wait, hold on. Not that one. This one. If a relationship feels like too much work in the first month, it's going to be 10 times harder a year from now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you're like,
Absolutely.
well, we have to go to therapy. We've been dating 5 weeks. You're like, okay. I mean, you want to just bail out and find somebody that's better for you? Like, so I guess. I mean, maybe I'm just too hard edged. Like, I'm thinking 5 weeks, depending on where you are. Like, I guess if you're like a 24-year-old and you've been dating someone for 5 weeks and like, we need to go see our therapist. You're like, well, maybe I don't like you that much.
5 weeks
I think we
is
should
pretty
bail
early.
out.
But how about 7 months?
How old are you?
Yeah, I think that's the
28.
I don't know. Maybe if you feel
But
it.
some people are into
you're
that
like,
stuff,
there's
like therapy.
potential here.
I mean,
there's
therapy
potential
does not
here.
mean you have problems. Therapy is, I mean, I've
No,
been
the
going to
person
therapy
Ryan
for years.
says, we need to go to therapy because I don't like the way that you cut the bread when we go to restaurants.
Well, that's ridiculous.
You're like, okay.
Or like I go to
need
therapy
find
a lot,
somebody
so
new.
let's do couples therapy. We've been together 8 months. We'll just keep it. We go once a month. Just keeps us fresh. Keeps it's just.
If
something
you're
to do.
into that, that's great. I'm not into that, so that would not.
I would be like,
So that would be-
I'd tap out.
I
I'd be
think
like, are you
know,
paying
you would
for
know
this?
that in the beginning, though.
How about this one? Dating Truths, 2024. A man who talks about how skilled he is in the bedroom or brags about his money, he ain't got it. The kind of man you want to be with knows that actions speak louder than words.
That's true.
He has to tell you what a man he is.
But you also got to be careful the other way, ladies. If you think the guy has a lot of money, and you see his car and his watches and that's where all of his money is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He's
no,
a
good point.
thousandaire.
If he's 30
point.
years old,
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
This
there's
is
some
trust fund,
30-year-olds that
baby.
get some really great jobs out of the box if they're engineers or oil and gas.
but you got to be careful. If
That's true, but
they're into all that expensive stuff of $20,000 Rolex.
But Roula bringing up the
And they're
whole
in
bragging thing, that's such a, I mean, that's an immature thing. First of all, you're never going to meet a genius who walks around and says, I'm a genius.
I'm so smart. Look how smart I am.
Laughing.
Yeah, what are you
Oh,
doing?
yeah, you do. Those people that brag.
There's
like, how do you
braggers
know
out
what they
there.
say?
I'm in
How do you
this
know-
special school for brain people.
How do you know?
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, Ivy League
Yes.
schools. Think about like if you go to Harvard,
Yeah.
you'll know they went to Harvard. They'll tell
Yes,
They tell you.
absolutely.
you. Somehow
really?
they'll find a way.
Peppered into
I'm in
conversation.
CrossFit and Harvard. They'll tell you these things. Or I'm a
Okay.
vegan. Oh,
What about this
better
one?
than you.
Dating Truth of 2024. No woman in a healthy long-term relationship has ever said, gee, I really wish I'd slept with that man sooner.
that's a good one. That's a good truth.
So the message there is, I guess with all,
No pressure. You don't.
yeah, no pressure. Don't feel pressure to sleep with somebody because
Oh, okay.
she's not going to feel like, gosh,
Or you could look at it like she was missing out. She should have slept with him sooner.
that's actually a good point.
So that's the way my
I
brain
could have
went.
this guy
Yes,
put
they're
on this whole
together
time.
now.
Right.
Oh,
Dang
it's
it.
hard.
I went back to him.
The majority is
Coulda went
mostly
to
about.
ya.
How about this?
I'll find that one.
How about this dating truth? If you get broken up with out of the blue, the out of the blue part really is only on your end
Yes.
because you
100%.
didn't see the
You didn't
other
see it
stuff
coming, yep.
Yeah. If you really go back and you look at it, you just didn't want to. You had blinders on, like the horses and the carriages with the
Oh, yeah.
blinders on their eyes.
Love blinders.
like, I'm not
So
gonna look
love
over there.
blinders are a real
There's a
thing.
problem.
Now I'm going to go back and self-examine.
yeah, people do that with bills as well.
What do you
For some
mean?
reason, you get a bill in the mail and you just. I'll just put it over here in this corner.
I'll let it go
It's
away.
like it's not going to go away. You just gotta deal with it.
But do you think that's a fair statement? Because, my God, we've been doing the show a long time with all the people that have cheated, where husband and wife are together. Wife thinks everything's fine. Husband's met somebody new and just decides to dump her right there on the spot.
They always say there were signs they didn't look up. They didn't actually pay attention to.
You take care.
Kev, we need a stager for this? Okay.
I got this.
I got it.
In
Give me
3
30
minutes.
seconds.
So Look At Me Now is where you call us and tell us about time in your life where somebody told you will not amount to anything, or you cannot do that, or you will not succeed. You will
Somebody
never
put
get
you down.
promoted. And you did. You did in the end. You showed them. Now, 713-390 is our phone number. I'm sorry, 390-KRBE is our phone number. But real quick from the text at 37530, let me just read this before it refreshes because you guys text us fast. It says, look at me now. I can't talk on the phone, but I'm going to text you my story. Over 20 years, I was on cocaine. I dropped out of high school in my freshman year. I've been clean now for over 5 years. I'm back in college. I only have 7 classes left to get my bachelor's degree. I've landed a great job. I have a great life. It was a journey, but I am determined that what I want in life is going to be mine. I push hard every day. I was working 2 full-time jobs plus being a full-time student for a few years to make this happen. I'm in my 50s, so anything is possible.
Good
for you.
Wow,
Yeah.
Good for you.
Bravo.
That's
Look
amazing.
at you
You left a
now.
20-year nightmare, and now you've turned your life around. That is badass.
Unbelievable.
And some of these people aren't putting you down. They are, but they think they're helping. That's the worst part. When a friend tells you something.
Well,
and-
everybody likes to
It's
have
a
their
box
flaws
of love
pointed out
wrapped
to
in
them.
a bunch of thorns and barbed
Don't we all
wire.
enjoy being
I
criticized?
guess they go with their
Yes,
experience
always.
of something. That's why whenever people ask me how to get in this business, I'm like, everyone has a different journey.
Yep.
There's no right or wrong.
And he doesn't
way.
want to tell you that.
You can
you're
say,
not
well,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
you know how you can reply? Well, this is how I did it. It may not work for you, but this is how I stumbled.
Okay, hi TG. Welcome to the show. It's Look At Me Now. Tell us about the struggle and the success.
So, high school, I was a semi-decent student, and the only class I've ever failed was biology. And if Miss Corman is hearing this, I want her to hear this, like, loudly.
Attention, Miss
I
Corman.
failed biology.
Don't cuss.
She basically told me that I will never amount to anything. I will never get into college, any of that stuff.
Not cool.
So, I believed it for a long time, and I ended up joining the military. I used to defuse bombs in the military. I was an EOD in the Navy for almost 9 years.
Wow.
Got out, got hurt, got out. I fell in love with logistics because that's what I was doing while I was getting out. And got my master's from U of H.
Wow.
Got it? Nice.
Impressive.
And right now, I am a logistics director for the Houston NFL Texans team.
Good for you.
Oh. See, there's so much more to just being a player or a suit. They've got so many levels of
jobs.
occupations
Yeah.
within the NFL team. So you are the logistics director for the Houston Texans, which means you have to organize like the buses and the hotels and all the things and like all the where the team's going to travel to. Or am I wrong on that? Because logistics is just logistics of where you're going to go and where.
It was like for spring training, you got to take all their stuff.
So I'm in charge for NRG property.
Oh,
I
wow.
basically provide anything and everything that's being sold there.
You provide
sold.
everything and anything that's being sold at NRG
Yes.
during Texans games.
We're talking
Whoa.
food to T-shirts.
Well, any Texans event, right? Like so even the soccer game we have coming up on the 20th, it's the Texans event.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's a heck of a
How long have you been doing
responsibility.
that, TG?
Just a lot of hard work, and after COVID hit, I guess they were opening back up and they were hiring people that they had fired, and I just got lucky.
So this is a new job.
Newer.
And I bet pressure is no big deal for you if you've been able to defuse bombs.
No kidding.
Yeah, I would think.
Oh my gosh, yes. 9 years you diffused bombs.
Nothing can phase
You
you.
can take on anything.
It should be a wake-up call to any adult.
Bravo,
Never,
TG.
ever
Like that.
tell a child that they're not going to amount to anything. Shame on you if you do that. You're not a good person.
What good is that? I don't understand how
I think
they
sometimes
think that's a
when people make mistakes, but still,
motivator.
that's just
You don't
wrong.
tell a child you'll never amount to anything.
Hey, why would you do that?
That's
to
awful.
To anybody.
I mean, I maybe like
I guess you're just so upset, you're so mad. Maybe they're a hellion at school or something, and they just
Okay, but
or they're
that's
like,
your last.
I'm going to be a blah blah blah. No, you're not. Stop.
So
just
he may have
simmer it. You're not going to be
misbehaved
that.
But
at
again,
that
your
moment in
last-
time, but you had something that
I'm just saying,
haunted him for
we've
years
never
by
been a
saying
teacher,
that.
but when you got 30 people, and I don't,
Bad
it sounds like I'm making an
kids.
excuse, but you
Yeah.
got bad.
Yeah.
There's some bad kids I had in my
I'm sure there are.
school. And
It was
I'm
Eric.
surprised. Yeah, and exactly. They never said that part
Look
though.
at you now.
Yeah, look at me now. Yeah, yeah. See?
I was always in the hallway
You're always getting in trouble.
because I was talking too much. Now look at me.
I get paid to
teachers.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Talking too much, right?
I always got in trouble.
My conduct was always.
Samantha,
Something tells me you got yelled at a
do
lot
you
in
want to
school,
share
Rolla,
that
after
with
talking.
everyone?
Sam and Rule, I could see you two getting in trouble.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Rula and I would probably
Rolla.
be sitting beside each other like,
And
can see-
passing notes.
yes.
And I can see Kevin narking you out. Mrs. Crabapple.
I
Mrs.
would
Crabapple.
never.
Oh, yeah.
These
One
two-
thing I'm not as a rat.
These two are
Sam,
talking.
my biology
And then I would
teacher.
have bullied Kevin in the hallway.
Yeah, she would have. My biology teacher, Mrs. Stanley, had to move me because I was next to my friends in class because you could sit wherever you wanted.
Yep.
And we were just not paying attention,
Chitter-chatters.
always
Yep.
talking, always being, a nuisance. When she moved me to the first row, she moved me to the very first row, the first desk in the corner near her.
Oh, yes.
It's
I
the
kinda
worst
sat
when they
there.
punish you that way.
I
Yeah.
ended up getting
That-
A's in biology, and I even got like a certificate. Like I even was one of like the 6 students that got a certificate for whatever the thing was that we did. I don't remember what the certificate was for. I just remember it was such a big deal that I got one because I was one of the 6 students that was killing it in biology, and that would have never happened if she didn't move me.
So it worked for you.
Bravo. on
That was
you,
the dreaded
Stanley. That
punishment when
worked.
they put you in the front near the teacher's desk.
Absolutely.
Everybody was like,
Oh,
ooh.
I hated that. That's where I always had to sit.
Well, that
You guys
was
brought it.
that
There's a lot-
was a good call to go out on. TJ, the bomb diffuser, who's now
Good for
logistics
you.
director for the Texans. Bravo, TJ. And if you guys want to share your story at 713-278-VENT, that's our listener line. We'll be happy to hear those.